Live from New Delhi, you're watching DD India NewsHour, India's voice to the world. I'm Amritpal Singh. Coming up in the next 1 hour, Prime Minister Narendra Modi calls the Delhi Assembly election victory as historic, promises that the CAG report will be presented in the first session of the Assembly, and whoever has looted people's money will have to return it. BJP returns to power in the Delhi Assembly after 27 years. BJP's Parvez Sahib Singh Verma defeats Aam Aadmi Party convener Arvind Kejriwal from the New Delhi constituency. Hamas releases more than three more Israeli hostages. Israel sets free 183 Palestinian prisoners in exchange. Three Baltic states, Estonia, Latvia and Lithuania, cut decades-old ties to the Russian power grid, prepare to link with the European Union. Let's start with the result of the Delhi Assembly elections. India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi addressed the party workers at the BJP headquarters in New Delhi following the party's victory in the Assembly poll. Prime Minister said the development of Delhi will be a priority for the double-engine government.
After getting big mandate in Delhi Assembly, Prime Minister Narendra Modi arrived at BJP headquarters in Delhi on Saturday. The stage was all set, the party workers were eagerly waiting, and the moment PM arrived, he received a rousing welcome. PM thanked the people of Delhi for the historic mandate and said that the national capital is finally free of Abda. PM Modi said that there is excitement and relief in the minds of the people of Delhi.
आडंबर, अराजकता, अहंकार और दिल्ली पर छाई आपदा की हार हुई। आज दिल्ली की जनता ने साफ कर दिया है कि दिल्ली की असली मालिक सिर्फ और सिर्फ दिल्ली की जनता है, जिनको दिल्ली का मालिक होने का घमंड था, उनका सच से सामना हो भी गया।
The double-engine government in Delhi will work hard to fulfill the promises and lead the capital to development.
दिल्ली के लोगों का ये प्यार, ये विश्वास हम सभी पर एक कर्ज है। इसे अब दिल्ली की डबल इंजन सरकार दिल्ली का डबल तेजी से विकास करके चुकाएगी।
The youth born in the 21st century will now see BJP's good governance in Delhi for the first time. The historic mandate shows the trust in BJP's double-engine government. BJP has returned to power in the national capital after a 27-year wait with a historic mandate. Aam Aadmi Party managed to get 23 seats, while the Congress Party failed to open their account in Delhi for the third consecutive election. Anil Thomas report for DD India.
And BJP supporters all across India erupted in celebrations as the party returned to power in the national capital after 27 years with a decisive mandate. BJP supporters celebrated in Uttarakhand, Uttar Pradesh, Jharkhand, Bihar, Goa, Tamil Nadu and other parts of the country. More in this report.
Celebrations erupted in various parts of country after BJP registered a landslide victory against Aam Aadmi Party in the highest stakes assembly elections for Union Territory of Delhi. In Uttarakhand, Chief Minister Pushkar Singh Dhami was seen exchanging sweets with party workers in Dehradun.
27 सालों बाद गैर भाजपाई सरकारों की विदाई हुई है और ये जीत आदरणीय प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी की जो गारंटी है उस गारंटी की जीत है, क्योंकि वो जो भी गारंटी देते हैं वो इस बात की गारंटी होती है कि गारंटी पूरी होगी.
While in Uttar Pradesh, party workers celebrated at BJP's state office in Lucknow after party's victory in by-election for Milkipur Assembly seat of Ayodhya in Uttar Pradesh and also in Delhi Assembly. In Bihar's capital Patna, BJP workers took the streets with band, baja and dance. Deputy Chief Minister Samrat Chaudhary exchanged sweets with party workers in Patna. In northeastern part of the country, in Jharkhand, BJP workers in Ranchi were seen celebrating party's victory in assembly polls in Delhi. In Goa, Chief Minister Pramod Sawant, while celebrating BJP's victory, said that people of Delhi have rejected the mismanagement, scam-laden model of AAP and extended their support to BJP. Celebratory mood could also seen at party office in Chennai, Tamil Nadu. In Thiruvananthapuram, Kerala, BJP leader V. Muralidharan termed this victory as a verdict against the corruption of the Kejriwal government.
I would like to thank and congratulate the voters of Delhi, including the Malayali voters, for electing Bharatiya Janata Party to power in Delhi. This is a verdict against the corruption of the Kejriwal government.
Victory means BJP's return to power in Delhi after 27 years long. BJP last held power in the national capital in 1998 when Sushma Swaraj was the chief minister. Swaraj was the first woman to hold the post of chief minister in Delhi. Fuzail Ahmed reports for DD India.
And the Bharatiya Janata Party is going to return to power in Delhi after 27 years as it emerged victorious in the assembly elections. The BJP has had 3 chief ministers in Delhi before this: Madan Lal Khurana, Sahib Singh Verma and Sushma Swaraj. Now, after nearly 3 decades, the BJP looks poised for a fresh chapter in Delhi's political landscape.
These visuals say it all. The Bharatiya Janata Party is back to power in India's national capital, Delhi. The party has made a comeback after 27 years in Delhi Assembly.
Under Prime Minister Modi's leadership, we are very keen that Delhi gets a government which serves its people. And that's something which is the need of the hour for attaining Viksit Bharat 2047. India's capital region, national capital region, should have a government which serves the cause of its people.
The return of Bharatiya Janata Party in Delhi Assembly, which is in power at centre, is clearly on its work and the promises fulfilled. The man who was in power for 3 consecutive terms was defeated by the BJP. Arvind Kejriwal was defeated by BJP's Parvesh Verma, and this is not all. AAP's other prominent leaders were also defeated by the BJP candidates.
मैं दिल्ली की जनता का बहुत एक बार फिर से धन्यवाद करता हूं और ये जीत ये प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी की जीत है, ये सभी दिल्ली वासियों की जीत।
जंगपुरा विधानसभा के लोगों ने भी बहुत प्यार मोहब्बत सम्मान दिया, लेकिन 600 वोट से लगभग 600 वोट से उसमें हम पीछे रह गए, तो मैं जो कैंडिडेट जीते हैं उनको बधाई देता हूं।
The other party that was in power for a very long period of time before 2013 also failed to woo the voters again this time. The tall claims made by the Congress party was never fulfilled. As a result, the voters rejected them and the party lost badly.
जो वोट कांग्रेस का आम आदमी पार्टी के में चला गया था वो हमें आना चाहिए था.
The Delhi win is a reaffirmation of the credibility of Modi's guarantees as well as the credibility of the PM's promise of good governance. Now let's understand why BJP got the mandate. The party made key promises include Mahila Samman Nidhi, women to be given rupees 2500, increase in old age pension, implementation of Ayushman Bharat Yojana in first cabinet, additional health cover of rupees 5 lakh, students to receive free education from KG to PG in government institutions, 100% basic facilities in all government schools, SC students to get a monthly stipend of rupees 1000, number of beneficiaries of PM Swanidhi Yojana to be doubled, to collaborate with Municipal Corporation of Delhi to form the Delhi JJ Cluster Sanitation Task Force, to build additional community toilets and ensure maintenance of existing toilets, CCTV cameras in JJ clusters to improve security and prevent crimes, special training programs for police force to increase sensitivity towards JJ clusters residents, and 33% reservation to women in Delhi government jobs. As the BJP returns in Delhi, all eyes are on CM candidate. How soon will it be known remains to be seen. Bureau Report, DD India.
And in the New Delhi constituency, BJP candidate Pravesh Verma defeated Aam Aadmi Party chief Arvind Kejriwal. Verma's victory marks a major shift in Delhi's political landscape, signalling the BJP's resurgence after 12 years of Aam Aadmi Party dominance.
It was a major setback for the Aam Aadmi Party on Saturday when the results started coming. Bharatiya Janata Party's candidate Pravesh Verma won the New Delhi seat by defeating former Delhi Chief Minister and Aam Aadmi Party national convener Arvind Kejriwal. Verma, a two-time MP from West Delhi, defeated Kejriwal with a margin of over 4,000 votes. Let's now take a look at the political journey of Pravesh Verma. Pravesh Verma is a well-known Jat leader and a key figure in Delhi's BJP unit. He comes from a prominent political family in New Delhi. He is the son of BJP leader and former Delhi Chief Minister Sahib Singh Verma. His political career began in 2013 when he won a seat in the Delhi Legislative Assembly representing Mehrauli. He later transitioned to national politics, securing a victory in the West Delhi parliamentary constituency in 2014. He was re-elected with a significant margin in 2019, winning by 578,000 votes. Verma also served on the Joint Committee on Salaries and Allowances of Members of Parliament. He was a member of the Standing Committee on Urban Development. He has been particularly vocal about issues such as pollution, women's safety, and civic infrastructure. The 10-year rule of Aam Aadmi Party comes to an end in the national capital. Former Chief Minister and Aam Aadmi Party national convener Arvind Kejriwal accepted the mandate and congratulated the BJP on their victory.
आज दिल्ली के चुनाव के नतीजे आए हैं और जनता का जो भी निर्णय है, जनता का जो भी फैसला है, उसे हम पूरी विनम्रता के साथ स्वीकार करते हैं. जनता का निर्णय सर माथे पर. मैं भारतीय जनता पार्टी को इस जीत के लिए बहुत-बहुत बधाई देता हूं.
But the question is, why did Aam Aadmi Party chief lose to Pravesh Verma? Some experts say the rift in Aam Aadmi Party and Congress led to this debacle, while others say the tainted image of the prominent Aam Aadmi Party leaders resulted in the loss. Aam Aadmi Party stalwarts like that of Kejriwal and Sisodia are facing corruption charges in liquor policy scam. Voters say that the tall promises made by the AAP government were not fulfilled. One thing is sure, the party will have to introspect and work hard if it has to regain the lost ground in the times to come. Bureau Report, DD India.
So how do we deconstruct the Delhi election results? To talk about that, I have with me Shekhar Iyer, senior journalist in the studio. Shekhar, always a pleasure to have you. How should we read the results? What worked for the BJP?
Well, I think the people of Delhi were exasperated with the kind of governance model and the kind of quality of governance of the last few years, and they were looking for a change. Whether it was the Juggi Jhopi clusters or the middle class, Delhi has more than 67% middle class. There was an yearning for change, and increasingly they felt the basic civic issues were getting neglected, and this long standing duel between the Delhi government and the centre and Kejriwal's own approach to issues, and overall I think the corruption charges that came up against Kejriwal himself personally and other Aam Aadmi Party leaders hit their basic USP as a party with a difference, a party that was born in the crucible of anti-corruption movement. I think that hit them hard, whether it was Kejriwal's Sheesh Mahal controversy or controversies relating to the excise policy. I think that hit them hard, because in terms of what gained them USP, that is free electricity, free water and all that, that was no longer an issue this time, because whether it was the Congress party or the BJP, right from Prime Minister, Home Minister, everybody assured some of the good aspects of whatever policies that they will continue, which means these will not be affected. So what was that extra that Kejriwal could do this time? And besides, I think the people felt that in terms of delivery, particularly the promise, expectation and ground delivery, there were huge gaps. And here there is a new BJP. We saw that in the parliamentary elections, Congress and Aam Aadmi went together, but they secured more than 50% votes. Now after that I think BJP struck early, went to the ground, did more micro campaigning as well as the big macro thrust. I think they got it right in terms of campaign issues and in terms of the Prime Minister's vision for Delhi. See, this election is about the Prime Minister's vision for Delhi. And Prime Minister has been saying that, and today also if you see in his speech to BJP workers, where he set out the huge challenges before the new Delhi government, he spoke about Delhi as an NCR region.
Yes.
And with BJP governments in all the neighbouring states, some grand master plan is on the anvil, and some of the promises in their manifestos will start rolling immediately.
We'll talk at length about what the Prime Minister said today in his victory speech. But Shekhar, let's you've listed out what went right for the BJP. Tonight, when Arvind Kejriwal returns home, what would he be thinking? What went wrong for him? Because his party came with a lot of promise, and a lot of people reposed trust in him, given the numbers the last time around, the last time around in Delhi, they were able to secure Punjab. So, they were able to catch the minds of the people at one point in time. So what went wrong with the whole movement and the party and the way they ran Delhi?
Well, Kejriwal may be thinking that I messed it up.
I messed it up myself. Okay.
Because if only after he got a second term, he had concentrated more on the bigger promises that were made, whether it was road, connectivity, or in terms of safe drinking water or sewerage system. And one more thing, Amritpal, in the municipal elections in 2022, it was Kejriwal's campaign that we are not able to deliver because the municipal corporation is not with us. So in 2022, the BJP which was in office was removed and Aam Aadmi Party came.
Right.
But that did not see any qualitative difference in terms of civic governance. The complaints of sanitation issues, water supply issues, sewerage, condition of roads, I mean something that hits everyone. That I think, and all the time he was more busy with his long battles in the court, and then this excise scam. And then the last part was the Sheesh Mahal. At a time when Delhi was reeling under COVID. And the stories that came out, how money was spent, the whole idea was to revamp his 6 Flagstaff Road residence, which is official residence Chief Minister.
It was a force to reckon with.
No, actually the Congress story is again a story of self-defeat, because right from the beginning, we saw in the run-up to the parliamentary elections, the Delhi Congress leaders, the rank and file, were opposed to any tie with Aam Aadmi Party. They said, look, we have reached this point, this low point, because we helped Aam Aadmi Party form the first government in 2013. AAP won the 2013 elections with 28 seats. And it was Congress Party which gave that majority by supporting it from outside. That did not run, and you saw the whole thing collapse. And then 2015 was election, and Kejriwal got a big opportunity by winning 67 of the 70 seats. His party won. And subsequent to that, the role that they should have played as an alternative or as an opposition, they ceded ground because they were caught up in this anti-BJPism. That whatever we should do, we should stop BJP from coming to power. That did not help the Congress. So, and again, cut to 2024, when your rank and file was opposed to any truck with Aam Aadmi Party. It was the leadership of Rahul Gandhi which insisted on Delhi Congress that no, we will go in for an alliance with Aam Aadmi Party, and then all the 7 parliamentary seats in Delhi were lost to the BJP. I mean, whether you stand alone or stand together, the BJP showed that they could beat you, both of you. I think that at that time, you remember leaders like Arvind Singh Lovely left the party, and there was huge resentment. And this time, I think finally Rahul Gandhi realized the pressure from the rank and file was we have to go it alone. But even here, Amritpal, it's a very tragic story, I would say, because the rank and file wanted the Congress leadership to do a more spirited campaign. But we saw Rahul Gandhi did the first meeting on January 2014. Until 28, there was no other rally. He was busy in other states. Then it was mentioned he is not well, but he was in Karnataka, he was in Madhya Pradesh.
No, so I want to understand from you.
Ultimately, Congress is whatever pockets of support. And you need to enthuse your cadre and rank and file. That will require the leadership investing time.
So you're saying it's the leadership's commitment to the...
And then, if you have to be alternative, you have to be alternative. And all this talk of, opposing BJP in the alliance and then thinking of future calculations, all that didn't work. Because ultimately what happened? Rahul Gandhi was forced to criticize Kejriwal. And then Kejriwal also hit back. Initially, Kejriwal took Rahul's thing as a token protest. He said, Rahul is speaking all that against me because he wants to revive his party. He dismissed Congress. But then when Rahul Gandhi became more forceful in his criticism of Kejriwal, then the Kejriwal hit back, listing him among whom he called dishonest politicians.
True.
So anti-BJPism itself is no guarantee for Congress revival.
It needs to look inwards and look at, galvanizing its cadres if it really wants to be a relevant force in Indian politics. That's true. Let's look at what the Prime Minister said at the BJP national headquarters after the victory. The numbers were clear that the BJP is forming the government. It's a really, really tall task for the next government, isn't it?
Absolutely. He did not mince words to remind the BJP rank and file, the leadership, the promises that have been made in the BJP manifesto, and how he is dead serious about seeing it is implemented on the ground. Whether it's sewerage system, drinking water, condition of roads, connectivity, or all other issues like housing for the poor, or the health facilities in Delhi. Because I think the Prime Minister has a vision for Delhi. And this time, by emphasizing on that, he has made it very clear that his first business will be to see Delhi is transformed into a real world capital. And I think he's serious about it. So whoever becomes Chief Minister has a very clear task cut out. The Prime Minister going to be after him or her, whoever it is. I think that's a message coming here. Also, warning people, warning voters and warning political parties, at large, that this Kejriwal kind of, brand of politics and governance is no governance at all. And at the same time also warning Rahul Gandhi, without taking his name, look, your kind of what he even described as stupid politics, where you are just echoing some of the ideas which the extreme radical left have. You are fighting against the Indian state, things like that. No, these are not the hallmark of a Congress party which claims to have fought for country's independence. Thereby saying, look, one hand you have some kind of a clever politics which is actually zero governance, and the other hand you have a stupid political narrative which is rejected by the people.
Absolutely, absolutely. Okay, if you look at the Prime Minister's speech, he promises that the CAG report will be tabled. He said we'll hold those people who looted the money of the people accountable. He said he attacked the Aam Aadmi Party on corruption, saying, look, these were the people who rose as, the warriors against corruption, but look how they performed. So it looks like that even after victory, the BJP is going to keep the heat on the Aam Aadmi Party when it comes to, because what hit the when it comes to their political strategy, because what hit, as you rightly said, the upmost was the BJP was able to tarnish their image on corruption, and that's where people stepped back.
Well, Amritpal, already Kejriwal is out on bail. The bail in the excise policy case where ED, CBI cases are going on. And in fact, Supreme Court, while granting him bail, they even set conditions that he can't go to CM's office, can't see CM. That is why he stepped aside and made Atishi
the CM.
CM. Now, so those cases are on and they are going to be pursued, they're taken to the logical course. Apart from that, the Shishbel thing particularly, the irregularities involved in trying to refurbish, that makes a clear case and which is also under investigation. So there have been allegations about Jal Board purchases, and there are other lot of issues where, there are a number of issues where, number of cases I would say, which involves gross misuse of office. Those will come under investigation, and I think a message will be sent out that you cannot just go on, throwing charges at the Prime Minister, at the central government, at everybody, and then you yourself will not be subject to scrutiny. Like for instance, just a day before the results, they came with a bizarre charge that BJP is out to buy MLAs. Basically, they are candidates. Results have not been declared, and they were quoting 15 crore. I mean, this kind of wild charge, because that's also now they have gone to and much more. The other one, do not forget, he came up with that Haryana government poisoning
this
water being supplied to Delhi for the high level of ammonia, and he even talked of genocide. Now, this, I think the Prime Minister would want a responsible politics, that leaders are made accountable for this kind of bizarre statements and allegations and insinuations without an iota of proof. I think now this is going to be different. So the task is cut out for the New Delhi government, delivery on the ground, delivery in terms of all the promises. And
basically, development and good governance is what because remember, Delhi may not even be a state, but it punches above its weight, just because of its sheer visibility.
And also, it's, as Prime Minister described, as a mini India.
Mini India, absolutely, very true. One last question before the $1 million question everybody is asking: who will be the next Chief Minister of Delhi?
Well, there are several names being speculated in the media, but I would expect the Prime Minister to go for a choice, and we have seen such choices in other states. A person who is capable, person who has that administrative acumen and capability, and belongs to a section that also sends out a social message.
Okay.
So don't be surprised if it's a woman Chief Minister, or if it is somebody who belongs to a scheduled caste or a backward community. And with Bihar elections, I think happening in November, it could be somebody from Purvanchal.
All right, we'll have to wait and see. Shikhar, many thanks for joining us. That's all the time we have for. It's always a pleasure to have you on the show. Thank you.
Thank you.
And still to come on DD India NewsHour, US President Trump sets to unveil new reciprocal tariffs next week. Could escalate global tensions. Russian forces advance into the east. Ukraine sees Doordarshan.
Timeless, boundless, and infinite. The essence of faith. The soul of Sanatan culture. From the sacred confluence of Prayag, where divinity descends to earth. Witness the grandeur, the devotion, the magic. World's largest cultural and spiritual gathering with over 450 million devotees expected to attend. Mahakumbh, India's greatest festival of faith. Exclusively on DD India.
You're watching DD India NewsHour. I'm Amritpal Singh. Hamas has released 3 Israeli hostages during the 5th round of exchanges following their capture in October 7th attacks. The hostages were handed over to the Red Cross in Gaza before being returned to Israel. While the transfer was smooth, the hostages appeared frail, sparking outrage from Israeli leaders. Israel also freed 183 Palestinian prisoners in return. DD India's Mihir Maikhouri has more.
Moment caught on camera. These are the visuals of Hamas releasing hostages. 3 male Israeli hostages were released during the 5th round of exchanges between Israel and Hamas. The hostages were handed over to the International Red Cross in Deir al-Balah, located in central Gaza. Afterward, the Red Cross passed them to the Israel Defense Forces, who ensured their return to Israel. These hostages were taken during Hamas-led attack on Israel on October 7, 2023. Although the transfer proceeded smoothly, the 3 men appeared frail and pale when they were led onto a makeshift stage. The sight of emaciated hostages broadcasted live on television turned what should have been a moment of celebration into one of shock. The Israeli president condemned the treatment of the freed hostages, calling it a crime against humanity, while the Israeli Prime Minister described the images of the freed hostages as shocking.
We are sad to see the situation, how they look. They look very hungry. They look like they suffered a lot. But we're happy. He's strong. He will get over it. And we're happy he came out.
As part of the deal to secure the hostages' release, Israel freed 183 Palestinian prisoners, some of whom were convicted for their involvement in attacks that claimed dozens of lives. The freed Palestinian prisoners were welcomed back to Ramallah in the West Bank on Saturday. This exchange occurred after a proposal by US President Donald Trump suggested that the United States take over control of the Gaza Strip and remove its inhabitants, a suggestion that sparked outrage worldwide. Mihir Maikhouri reporting for DD India.
And the United States is set to shake up global trade once again. US President Donald Trump has announced plans to impose reciprocal tariffs on multiple countries as early as next week. This could mean the new duties on imports from key trading partners. Meanwhile, the president has also signed an executive order cutting financial aid to South Africa, citing concerns over its land policy and its case against Israel at the International Court of Justice. Here's more in this report.
President Donald Trump is escalating his push for what he calls fair trade. On Friday, he announced plans to impose reciprocal tariffs, meaning the US will charge countries the same tariffs they impose on American goods. Trump insists this approach will be fair and balanced while protecting US industries.
I'll be announcing that next week, reciprocal trade, so that we're treated evenly with other countries. We don't want any more or any less. So I'll be announcing that next week, and many other things having to do not even with trade, but other things. But I'll be talking about reciprocal trade sometime next week. We'll have a news conference and we'll lay it out. Pretty simple.
Taiwan has sent officials to Washington to discuss the potential impact of these tariffs. Taiwan's tech sector, especially its semiconductor industry, could be a target. Trump has previously accused Taiwan of stealing American semiconductor business, raising concerns that tariffs on imported chips may be next. Meanwhile, the president has also signed an executive order cutting US financial aid to South Africa. The White House cites concern over South Africa's land policies and its genocide case against Israel at the International Court of Justice. The executive order also directs the administration to create a plan to resettle white South African farmers and their families in the US as refugees. Trump administration also suffered a setback after a US judge on Friday temporarily allowed roughly 2700 US agency for international development employees put on leave by President Donald Trump's administration to go back to work, pausing aspects of a plan to dismantle the agency. It also bars the administration from relocating US aid humanitarian workers stationed outside the United States. As the US moves forward with these major policy shifts, global condemnation are growing. Many will be watching in the coming days to see which countries Trump targets and how they respond.
The three Baltic states of Estonia, Latvia and Lithuania on Saturday cut ties with Russia's power grid to join the European Union's network. The culmination of years-long process that gained urgency with Moscow's invasion of Ukraine. The three staunch supporters of Kyiv stopped purchases of power from Russia following the invasion in 2022, but have relied on the Russian grid to control frequencies and stabilize networks to avoid outages. Here's a report.
More than 3 decades after leaving the Soviet Union, Estonia, Latvia and Lithuania have begun to unplug from Russia's electricity grid and join the European Union's network. The 2-day process began on Saturday morning with residents told to charge their devices, stock up on food and water and prepare as if severe weather is forecast.
It's a huge event. We're going here from 2009, so more than 15 years. And now it's the point when we are switching off. And it's not so important that it's switching off, but that we are going to switch to the European electricity system together.
The Baltic countries spent nearly 1.6 billion euros since 2018 to upgrade grids to prepare, while Moscow has spent 100 billion rubles, including on the building of several gas-fired power plants in Kaliningrad. Estonian Prime Minister Kirsten Michael compared this transition to their joining in the Shenzhen area.
Estonia, along with Latvia and Lithuania, has disconnected itself from the Russian frequency range, and tomorrow we will synchronize ourselves with the continental European frequency range. This means that new markets will emerge, new products will be developed, which will then increase the opportunities for Estonian electricity producers to sell electricity.
I think it's important to underline that this is about security. It's about not being dependent. No European country should be dependent on Russia for anything. So security is number one. But it's also about competitiveness and decarbonization.
Meanwhile, the Baltic Sea region is on high alert after power cable, telecom links and gas pipeline outages between the Baltics and Sweden or Finland. Chairman of the board of the Latvian grid operator said that they are well prepared for any kinds of threats and that security has been beefed up.
So we are aware of these type of risks. We are getting ready for that, and during these days also we have additional support from our security services and national armed forces. But at the moment we don't see any signs or critical information which show that there is some additional huge risks.
The grid was their final remaining link to Russia for the three countries which re-emerged as independent nations in the early 1990s at the fall of the Soviet Union and joined the European Union and NATO in 2004. The three staunch supporters of Kiev stopped purchases of power from Russia following Moscow's invasion of Ukraine in 2022, but have relied on the Russian grid to control frequencies and stabilize networks to avoid outages. With Dheeraj Das, Tanvi Taneja for DD India.
And Russian forces have advanced into East Ukraine and seized an important city in East called Toretsk after months of heavy fighting. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky believes that the North Korean troops have been redeployed in the western Russian region of Kursk, where Ukrainian forces are carrying out cross-border attacks. And US President Donald Trump has flagged a possible meeting with Zelensky next week.
Ukraine has launched new attacks in Russia's southern Kursk region as US President Donald Trump pushes for ceasefire talks. Ukrainian Air Force on Saturday shot down 67 of 139 Russian drones launched overnight, while another 71 disappeared from radar without reaching their targets. Whereas Russia's forces had taken control of the strategic coal mining city of Toretsk in eastern Ukraine. But Ukraine's military denied the city had been captured and reported heavy fighting in and around it. Meanwhile, Ukraine's president said North Korean forces have returned to the front line in Russia's western Kursk region after reports they were withdrawn last month due to heavy casualties.
There have been a new assaults in the Kursk operation area. The Russian army and the North Korean soldiers have been brought in again. A significant number of occupants have been destroyed. We are talking about hundreds of Russian and South Korean soldiers.
Zelensky's statement came just days after South Korea's intelligence service stated that North Korean troops had done the opposite and been pulled back from the front line. On Friday, US President Donald Trump said he would probably meet Ukrainian President Zelensky next week to discuss Ukraine's war to repel Russian invaders.
I will probably be meeting with President Zelensky next week, and I will probably be talking to President Putin. I'd like to see that war end. He may meet next week, yeah, whenever he'd like. I'm here. I'm here. Could be Washington. Well, I'm not going there.
Zelensky also expressed a willingness to offer the US access to Ukrainian resources, including rare earths and underground LNG storage facilities, in exchange for security guarantees. Aman Kumar Himanshu's report for DD India.
And let's now take a look at other stories making news around the world. Germany's industrial output saw a significant decline in December 2024, dropping to its lowest level in over 4 years. The data showed, after seasonal and working day adjustments, that industrial production in December of 2024 fell by 2.4% on a month-on-month basis and 3.1% a year-on-year basis. In preparation for Valentine's Day, U.S. Customs and Border Protection agriculture specialists at the Miami International Airport have been diligently inspecting imported flowers to prevent the introduction of harmful pests and diseases into the United States. Hundreds of lanterns floated into the night skies of northern Taiwan on Saturday as crowds prayed for prosperity in the Year of the Snake. The spectacular light show draws hundreds of participants from Taiwan and all over the world to the mountainous Pingxi district every year on the cusp of spring. Participants write down their hope for the new year, ranging from good health to wealth and world peace, before releasing the lanterns into the air. And still to come up on DD India NewsHour, cycling enthusiasts bike it out in the national capital as Fit India movement takes centre stage. Man City survived fourth round scare to secure victory over Leyton Orient in the FA Cup.
Big cities now remind us of traffic, poor air quality, bad sanitation, concrete and little to no greenery. And it is our responsibility to figure out ways to improve our city life.
Failing on segregating waste, which is extremely important. The moment you segregate waste, it's all in control.
They can function efficiently and you can completely take advantage of the capacity of these processing centers only when waste is segregated at.
The fungus is great for building, because through the mycelium, the root structure of the fungus that grows underground, and that interlinking creates a more stable material.
People around each lake should come together and take the initiative to save their lakes. The government has proved itself ready to do their part as well. If the people are determined to save nature, change will not be difficult.
You're watching DD India NewsHour. I'm Amritpal Singh. Leaders of Eastern and Southern African regional blocs held a joint summit on Saturday to address the escalating conflict in Eastern Congo. The summit highlights growing regional concern as the Eastern Bloc supports dialogue with Rwanda, while the Southern Bloc backs Congo, particularly after the deaths of peacekeepers. M23 is an ethnic Tutsi-led group, and Rwanda argues it is defending against a Hutu militia. Backed by Rwanda, M23 rebels have captured Goma and are advancing towards Bukavu despite declaring a ceasefire. The crisis has raised fears of a wider war, with Congo accusing Rwanda of supporting the rebels, a claim Rwanda denies.
The time for action is now. The lives of millions depends on our ability to navigate this complex and challenging situation with wisdom, clarity of mind, empathy for the millions whose lives and livelihoods have been plunged into uncertainty. Peace processes.
As South Korean President Yoon Suk Yeol's impeachment trial nears its conclusion with only 2 hearings left, protesters gathered in Seoul on Saturday, despite freezing temperatures, to voice support for or against his removal. Thousands braved sub-zero temperatures, with some leaders expressing confidence in either Yoon's reinstatement or removal. The final hearings are scheduled for Tuesday and Thursday. Yoon is currently jailed and also faces criminal trial on charges of insurrection. The 15th edition of the biennial Aero India International Seminar commenced in South Indian state of Karnataka's Bengaluru on Saturday. The 2-day seminar has been organized by the Center for Military Airworthiness and Certification of Defence Research and Development Organization, in association with the Aeronautical Society of India, as a prelude to Aero India 2025, which will be held in Bengaluru from the 10th of February to the 14th. The seminar is a leading event in the global aerospace industry, with this year's theme focusing on futuristic aerospace technologies, challenges in design validation. The 48th Export Award function of Chemixil was held on Saturday in Mumbai. The event was hosted by the Basic Chemicals, Cosmetics and Dyes Export Promotion Council, or Chemixil. The function honored outstanding exporters in chemical, cosmetics and dyes industries. India's Minister of State for Chemicals and Fertilizers, Anupriya Patel, graced the occasion as a chief guest. While addressing the gathering, Minister Anupriya Patel highlighted that the chemicals and petrochemical sector remains a cornerstone of the Indian economy, with approximately 80,000 chemicals which are produced. She further emphasized that this sector serves as the backbone of various industries.
Indian pharmaceutical industry has already made a mark on the global stage by supplying 20% of the world's generic medicines and 62% of the vaccines. It's also heartening to learn that our exports of pharmaceuticals reached more than 2 lakh crores in the financial year 2023-24, with an impressive growth rate of 8.5% for drugs and pharma.
You're watching DD India NewsHour. Time now for some sports news. Paris Saint-Germain confirmed that Luis Enrique had signed a contract extension to remain as their coach until 2027. In his first session at the club, Enrique guided the Parisians to a domestic double, French Super Cup victory and last 4 Champions League finish. PSG remained in the contention in all competitions this season. They sit first in Ligue 1, won second straight French Super Cup trophy in Doha in January, and faced fellow French outfit Brest in the Champions League playoffs. The Fit India movement took center stage in the national capital as cycling enthusiasts, armed forces personnel and dignitaries came together for a joyride from RK Puram in the national capital to India Gate, an event that was organized under the banner of the Hindian Cycle Expedition and Race as part of Delhi to Pune Cycle Expedition. Here's a report.
As the sun rose over Delhi, the city witnessed a spectacular show of pedal power, with cyclists embarking on a journey from West End Colony RK Puram to the National War Memorial at India Gate. The event symbolized the growing movement towards fitness and sustainable mobility. It also emphasized the government's commitment to promoting cycling as a healthy and eco-friendly mode of transport. Cyclist Vishnudas Chapke, known for his advocacy on various societal issues, took this ride beyond just fitness. While championing the Fit India movement launched by Prime Minister Narendra Modi, he also used the platform to raise awareness about an equally important cause, hair donation for cancer patients. Through this initiative, he aimed to inspire more people to contribute in meaningful ways, both on and off the track.
दयन का हर साल एक थीम रहता है. इस साल का जो थीम है हमारा कैंसर अवेयरनेस है और मुंबई में हम एक इवेंट ऑर्गेनाइज कर रहे हैं जहां पे 450 स्टूडेंट्स आ रहे हैं, गर्ल्स स्टूडेंट्स. उनमें से कुछ स्टूडेंट्स अपने जो बाल है वो डोनेट करेंगे. उससे जो कैंसर पेशेंट्स हैं जिनके बाल गए हैं उनके लिए विग बनाएंगे.
The highlight of this ride was a cycle parade on Kartavya Path, organized with the support of the Delhi Traffic Police, further amplifying the message of the Fit India movement. Riders, young and old, pedal with enthusiasm, showcasing the spirit of unity and fitness. With this ride, the stage is now set for the larger Delhi to Pune cycle expedition, a journey that will test endurance, resilience and commitment to the cause of fitness.
So the message is loud and clear that cycling is not just a sport, but it's a way forward for a healthier India. As the expedition from Delhi to Pune continues, the Fit India movement gains even more momentum. With cameraman Doordarshan Chapke, this is Meher Raj Singh for DD India.
And Premier League champions Manchester City survived a huge FA Cup fourth round scare to secure a 2-1 victory at the third-tier Leyton Orient on Saturday. Orient took a 16th minute lead through Jamie Donnelly's long-range wonder strike, which flew past City keeper Stephen Ortega. In response, City's players were relieved when Abdulkadir Husanov equalized in the 56th minute, deflecting Enrico Luis's shot following a corner. Kevin De Bruyne came on late in the game and was played in by Jack Grealish to score from close range in the 79th minute. World champion D. Gukesh has began his campaign at the Freestyle Chess Grand Slam Tour in Germany. The 18-year-old began with 4 draws and a lone loss. He drew against Nordebek Abdul Shaturov before suffering a loss against Alireza Firozja in the second round. He followed up with another draw against Levin Arionian and narrowly escaped defeat against Javokhir Senderov, securing yet another draw. Gukesh ended the day with a draw against Hikaru Nakamura. And that's it in this edition of DD India Live News Hour. But do let us know your thoughts on the news of the day. For those on the go, you can get all the latest news and updates from India and across the world on DD India's mobile app. The app is available on both Android and iOS platforms. Scan the QR code on your screens to download now. We'll be back with more news as it breaks here on DD India. I'm Amrit Pal Singh from my entire team here in Delhi. Thank you for watching DD India NewsHour. Bye-bye.